Welcome to Enjoy Fort Wayne. This episode is brought to you by the YLNI Farmers Market and highlights the 350 vendors that make up the #1 market in the state of Indiana.
Hello folks, this is Trinbago pepper sauce. Alec Marin here with Adam Marino, a good friend of mine from YLNI Market, doing a little brief interview for you guys so you guys can get in touch with me and the pepper sauce business.
Man, the fiery pepper sauce business. So before we get into how you got started, tell me a little bit about yourself. Are you from here originally, from Fort Wayne?
Well, I was born in Trinidad and Tobago,
Okay.
Tunapuna Village.
Awesome.
Yeah, the island is the last island in the Caribbean chain, like 7-9 miles off of the coast of Brazil, South America. I visited twice, which is nice. I'd like to visit again, but
Yeah.
I was raised here. So
Okay.
after 7 months, my parents came here to Fort Wayne, and they just never left.
What's the connection to Fort Wayne? Why are they moved here?
Not
Not that I'm complaining. I'm
no, I mean,
I'm glad they did,
I
but-
love Fort Wayne. I love what's happening with Fort Wayne.
yeah.
They just, I don't know, they settled down here because my mom's sister had a house here. Well, she lived in the downstairs area of the duplex that we own now, and we've had that house for a long time. You know, we haven't changed houses. My mom's sister moved out, and then she just kind of bought the place, and we haven't left. But yeah, mainly it's because of my Aunt Deanna, her sister, moved here to Fort Wayne. I'm not sure why she moved here. Maybe it's because she found somebody who was from here or something like that. I'm not sure exactly
Yeah.
that backstory. My uncle Gary, I believe he was from Texas, and that's who she was married to. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I don't really think she had other ties here. But other than, I mean, like her husband Bill, my stepdad, he used to live here, and they were all like good friends when they were growing up as kids and stuff like that. So then, like, eventually them two got married. My dad went off to Canada and lived with my ex stepmother. Everyone's still all friends, you know, close friends
Sure.
and stuff. So, which is great. But yeah, so I don't know. I kind of just have been finding my own way here in Fort Wayne to establish myself, not only as like one company, but I want to have like a nice impact on Fort Wayne as far as like community development, because I see the outreach and the outpour of people needing, you know, certain services or something just to help make life a little bit easier, you know, here in the crossroads of America, because it always hasn't been easy, you know.
Right,
It's you know, it's up and coming, and that's great. So I would really like to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So
Same. Love the changes that are happening in Fort Wayne. Tell me about the sauce. Tell me your first story. What is your first memory of tasting this particular recipe? Like, is there a story?
yeah, absolutely. As with anything that has meaning or value, I mean, when I first tried this sauce, I hated it. I was young, you know.
Is it too hot?
Oh yeah, I was like, how do you guys eat this crap? Like, it was like I didn't even like it one bit, and then it grew on me eventually. I mean, when I was like 10 years old, that's when I actually started eating it. But before then, I mean, I was like, why do you guys?
What's the point of this?
Yeah,
It's too hot.
This
Yeah,
is
it's like,
well, it wasn't even that. Like spicy food wasn't even on the Richter scale for me. You know, didn't even register in my mind. Like, why would I want my food spicy at all? And then when I tried it the first time, I vaguely remember like it just tasting terrible, you know, because I was a kid, my taste buds weren't opened up or anything.
that's fair.
You know, so eventually, you know, around the age of 10, I tried it again. You know, a friend of mine, Felix Moxter, shout out, and your boy Lucas, he does this thing where like I think it's after every month they give it a try again, like a certain food, and then like if he doesn't like it, they'll give it another month and then try it again.
Hmm.
And now I don't think that was necessarily me. I think I tried the sauce one time when I was young.
Yeah.
And then when around the age of 10 came, I actually enjoyed it. Maybe it's because they put it in food or something without me knowing.
Sure.
You know, but to try it by itself, I remember trying it by itself and I did not like it at all. But now I do try it by itself all the time and I love it. I enjoy it very much.
Right. Right. So
to elaborate a little bit
Yeah.
more on the origination of the sauce, it's my grandparents' recipe.
that's what I was going to ask you. So
Right. So I was just rambling a little bit. But yeah, my grandparents were making this down in the Caribbean and would eat this with, just about every meal, I imagine. They do stewed chicken, red beans, and rice. You know, they would be chopping chickens up, in their yard. Like that's how they do it down there. They would raise chickens and use them. And it's funny. One time, my grandfather, he had this like prize rooster of his, and my uncle Wayne. I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, Wayne.
but you just did, I guess.
But it's a funny story. He was really angry at something or whatever, and the rooster would not stop calling,
Yeah.
And he threw a rock at it, and he didn't mean to hit it, but he killed it. So they ended up stewing up the rooster, the prize rooster, and my grandfather didn't find out until after they had already eaten it and everything.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. And I mean, it's a funny story now.
It's a 1 in a million shot.
Yeah, really.
It just happened to knock
And
it out.
I imagine this was in it or on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my grandparents, they were making this stuff up, and like families down there, they have their own renditions of this kind of sauce. There could be ginger in it. There could be, I don't know, garlic, all kinds of seasonings. You can do whatever you want with it. But the cool thing about this sauce is that there's not much in it, so you can add whatever you want to it.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yep. I've heard you at the market as customers are coming up to you and inquiring about it. The number of things that you can do with it because of that fact is very cool. That when you say it can be used with almost anything and you use it like with every meal, it's like, it really is.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, man. I mean, and it's healthy for you too, which is great. But yeah, you can certainly implement it in just about any number of things, from barbecue. Like I like it in barbecue sauces for like ribs and chicken wings and what are they? Chicken thighs, leg quarters and all that stuff. I do it in breakfast foods, breakfast burritos. I do it in, eggs and hash browns.
Yep.
People love that stuff. And then it's, obviously it's great with like curries and stewed chicken and, curried goat and, beef and all.
Curry definitely is a thing, I feel like, with this type of sauce, this type of hot sauce.
For sure.
Tell me, like, how it went from, okay, that's a great story. You threw Uncle Wayne under the bus. That's all great.
Sorry.
But how did we get here? Like, why am I looking at a bottle with your face on it?
Well, we had a cafe called Comfort Food Cafe, and that was in the basement of the City County building for a while. And then it transitioned into the Citizen Square building. And then that's where we started making the sauce. We had a small batch of it at one time, and we dished it out to a few people who were interested. I think Mom was probably making like stewed chicken or something for like the menu one day, and we had some made up, and people just got attached to it, like a certain few people. And they were just like, you guys really need to sell this stuff because it's amazing. And eventually it just grew from there. Like I started.
So what year was that?
Like it established in 2018 kind of because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say around 2018. I couldn't tell you exactly when. I want to, because I mean it could have been any day of the week, any month of the year, when she made that dish, and then it caught on. But it was definitely in 2018. I know that because we had made a big 5-gallon pot of it, you know, and I had that sitting in the fridge, you know, just with a cellophane over the top of it. And if you wanted some, we'd put it in a little 2-ounce cup for you and you can have it,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. So at what point did you realize, okay, we're going to make this label? I mean, I see it, established 2018. It's right on the label. It's nice. It looks just like anything that you would get at a regular store for the last 30 years. It looks just as good. When did you realize after putting this together that, okay, this is a thing that can really take off and be like a business, and where now you're looking for markets and stuff to sell it at? Like, was it right away in the process? Was it early on in the process or later?
I mean, it's literally because of, you know, people telling us that we needed to sell it.
Yeah.
And
The community just telling you.
Because, I mean, she has a really good following through Comfort Food Cafe. So there was a lot of people interested in the sauce. And they all wanted it. They were wanting little mason jars of it. They were wanting 4-ounce cups of it. They were, you know, whatever they can get their hands on, really.
Yeah.
And then at that time, I was in visual communications at Ivy Tech, you know, doing graphic design work. And I made up like a 3-panel kind of mock-up label for it. You know, you could tell I was still a student. Like it was, you know, it looked like a flyer, like a 3-page or a 3-pamphlet.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call this.
Trifold
flyer.
Yeah.
And it had like,
those are hard to get exactly right, honestly.
they
really are.
I did really good work in college, and so, but the thing is like the first label, like I didn't like it personally, and I knew I needed to change it. So then I came up with this because I saw what was trending on social media for like sauces, you know, because I was constantly following different sauce pages.
Oh, for sure.
One of the ones that stuck out to me was Hoff sauce, you know, HOFF. I think that's what it is, yeah. And it's got his face on it, you know, and it's a real basic label. It looks clean cut. It's nice.
Yeah, I would say, like,
and
that's what I think about this for sure. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's straight to the point. There's not too much going on with it, but it's enough to draw your eye to it because it pops.
Yeah, man.
So it's nice.
No, I love it. What would be some advice you have for someone who is in your shoes, and that they have something that people have been saying, like, oh, you should make that, or you should sell that, or you know, but they're just they're a little unsure. What advice would you give for them?
Well, for me, if you don't go to school, study it up on YouTube and Google. You know, dive in deep, get the software, get, you know, a little laptop, start working hard on getting a business established. You know, it's not hard at all once you do it once. And I'm already started working on like doing my second one. This is technically my third one, because I've done restoration and remodeling, and that's actually not a business technically, because it's not like, it was just like doing favors, if you will. You know, and I could turn it into a business, but I don't feel like it. Because I have enough clientele anyway. I don't need to. You know, it's whatever. I actually have insurance. I have handyman insurance. So, you know, I am covered.
Right, if something happens.
So at least there is that. But, you know, cover your bases. You know, you don't want to get in trouble with, you know, government agencies or anything like that because you're not certified.
Right, be
or
legit
whatever.
and figure all that out.
Do the hard work that it's going to take. That's the nerve-wracking part, is getting through the schooling. I got, you know, certified through Acidified Foods. It was only nerve-wracking because I didn't want to do it.
And you had never done it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know what you don't know.
I mean, if you're interested in what you want to do, so you have an idea of what you need to do, so it's going to be more comfortable getting into a field that you already have some knowledge of or are interested in. So,
you're passionate about it,
that
so
you're
you don't
passionate
mind
about
doing the extra work.
Yeah. So, but for me, um, I would say don't hold back. Just go for it. Like doing art, it's not easy. You know, I mean, you
Right.
got to be creative,
Yeah.
and then to turn something that like that into a business, it's not gonna happen overnight. I didn't figure this out until Lord, I think I left college in like 2015 or something, or 2016, and I just was going from job to job trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Like, I mean, I worked three different unions, you know. I was with Teamsters, Local 20, like sheet metal union. I was a sheet metal fabricator. I worked for Parks and Recreation. I think that's Teamsters. It wasn't three different unions, it was two different unions. And then Jack Cooper Transport, that's Teamsters as well,
Yeah.
for GM, not GE, GM, General Motors. Uh, but you know, it was all really laborious work, but I loved it. But I got stuck. You know, I had to move on from sheet metal work because I just couldn't pass in the pre-apprenticeship program. Like I took the test to get into the program like 5 times. And at that point I was teaching people how to do, you know, the work, how to put ductwork together, you know, how to cut stuff, how to you know all sorts of things, you know, just what you would
Yeah.
learn in shop class, you know. I was teaching kids how to do that stuff. Only thing I didn't learn how to do was weld, which I have an idea of, and I would love to do it. I would love to learn it still. But I got stuck at $13 an hour, so I was just like, I have to move on.
Yeah.
So I went to Jack Cooper Transport. And then this kind of ties in, like the reason why I left Jack Cooper is because it was good money and stuff, but it was my lower back pain. I had a sciatic nerve problem,
Dude, yeah.
and you know that flared up again. And it first flared up like 2 or 3 times doing sheet metal, and then at Jack Cooper it flared up a few times. And the last time was the last straw. I couldn't do it, and I was it was so bad. Like, I mean, I was in the middle of like trying to correct the situation through chiropractic stuff, and it was taking too much time away from the company. So I knew that was going to happen, and I was
Yeah.
like, I have to quit. Like, I don't want to get fired, and I love you guys. You know, you guys are great. I got really involved with, you know, people's lives there because we were just so close, you know, just with anywhere you're working, you know, that's natural. Um, and I hated leaving there. But I mean, there's a rhyme and reason for everything. So it led me to doing the golf courses, you know, the local Fort Wayne golf courses, Show, Foster, McMillan. I was mainly at McMillan cleaning that place up, you know, all the debris outside of the fence, you know, cleaning up the fence lines, getting it all nice and pretty. I was working the greens, cutting all the greens, you know, doing the holes, you know, maneuvering those around. But being at the golf courses gave me enough headspace and enough mental time and, you know, build my capacity up mentally and strengthen me, you know, to take something like this on. um and then after that season ended, I mean, I was back into remodeling for myself
Yeah.
and focusing on this. And then at that time I needed to transfer from the kitchen, the comfort food kitchen down at Citizen Square, to um, the Reddings Market kitchen, which is where my mom started comfort food. And I thought that was pretty awesome that I landed there.
Yeah.
And then, so I kind of just been steady making this sauce, you know, by 10 gallons at a time every month, selling it as much as I can. I'm up to like 37 or 3,800 bottles. I don't even count anymore, really. I just kind of go by 100, you know, every month. I'm just like, all right, well, that's another 100.
Right.
You know, I know it's more than that because if I do 8-ounce bottles, I'm doing like 140 or something like that. But if I mix it up, it's going to be a little less.
Oh, sure.
If I do strictly 12-ounce bottles, I'll do 108
Yeah.
roughly. So I'm guessing it'd be about, if I mix it up, it's probably 120 bottles
Yeah.
every month.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, 3-4 years in the making. This is where we're at right now. Along with that, I'm doing that Peppers and Punchline show every time they have it at the Summit City Comedy Club over there in front of Pierre's, which has been really fun. I like the shows a lot. I love Alex and Jared, Alex Eakin, if you guys don't know him, and Jared Scott. They run the thing and they do the thing. They eat the thing. They eat the thing, and it's way hotter than this thing. It is way hotter.
That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely want to check out one of those shows for sure. I want to ask you about the market, as we are now in October, and so we're at the winter market, which is where you actually started the previous year. When I met you was at the winter market. What is one of your favorite things about the YLNI Farmers Market?
I like the eclectic kind of mix mox kind of thing. There's a lot to choose from down there. There's always something new that you never really discovered the first time you were there. you know And I mean, even me, like, I'm one person, so I'm always running my booth, and I don't really get to venture around too much. But when I do, I mean, I always find something that I'm interested in. And everybody there has something of value to contribute or sell you, or, that's going to be a fun experience,
Yeah.
So everybody's got a nice, product, if you will, of their own. And if not all of it, I know most of it is local,
Right. That's the idea.
And I don't know. I just love being a part of all of this. The growing of Fort Wayne. It's nice.
Yeah, it's definitely in the last 10, even 5 years, especially around downtown and stuff, has really just come alive, and the market is definitely part of that. So we're glad to be just down the street from the summer market for the foreseeable future, as it gets pretty cold here soon. So we are inside. Tell us what other you talked about in the past when I've talked with you, possibly about other sauces. Is there a timetable that are you already making sauces, but just maybe not for sale? I'm just curious.
No, I'm not making sauces currently for like other flavors and stuff like that. It's just an idea. I know what I can do with it.
Yeah, you mentioned it before a while ago and just in talking.
It's just like,
but I was curious.
The next step for me, is because money is the main factor in anything,
Of course.
And I'm coming from the bottom, no loans, none of that stuff, so, and I'm in the middle of trying to pay off my truck, so if I could pay that off, then I could, use that extra bit of, a little bit of capital to fund other sauces and stuff like that.
Sure.
But like the next step would be either making a mild sauce just so I can hit that avenue of the market, because not everybody likes spicy.
Right.
And the other thing is, like, people want bigger sizes of this stuff. So doing a half gallon or a gallon of them, like I said, I don't want to dump, a couple $100 that I don't have into something that isn't going to sell right away,
Right.
So,
Takes time.
But like, like O'Sullivan's, they're interested in doing gallon growlers of the sauce. And I can see that stuff running out pretty quickly there. I need the money to do it first,
Takes money to make money.
Exactly.
Kind of thing,
And I would love to do it. And then you got to think, like, if I make 5 1-gallon growlers, that's half of the 10-gallon batch right there. And I do it once a month, and it's enough work to, it needs an army to do it. But I do it myself, that's 2,500 peppers that I got to clean and process, which, if they're perfect in pristine condition, then it takes no time at all. It's like 2-3 hours of processing.
Yeah. But still,
if they're in rough shape, it can be an 8-hour job.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, before I ask you one of the last questions, tell us everything about from the sauce, where we can get it, where you are online, social media presence. Like, give us your like 30-second commercial, basically.
Well, you can get the bottle online at the website called TrinbagoPepperSauceCo.com.
Okay.
I mean, I got both sizes available.
Yep.
Well, the 8-ounce is currently unavailable. I kind of limited my 8-ounce production just because, like I said, it's a money thing.
Yeah.
The 12-ounce bottle sells just as easily as the 8-ounce.
And it's more money.
I would have to sell more of these, and or
Yeah.
that's twice as many people.
The 12 ounce is the way to go.
Yeah, for now,
Yep.
And I'll still offer this online, but it's very limited. Like I'm only gonna keep my stock like at 6 bottles or something.
Yep.
Online.
And then Facebook and Instagram, right?
Yeah. So there's a Facebook and an Instagram, and I'm always posting on Instagram, and that will funnel through to Facebook. And so I'm always posting on social media. If it's like, I'm not gonna constantly post me like every Saturday market just selling the same sauce. I'm not doing that. Like if it's an event that I'm at, I'll post the event
That you're there.
I'll share the event.
Oh, sure.
And stuff like that. Like for instance, if I'm because I'm doing the Peppers and Punchlines coming up, that will be shared with the community through social media, Instagram and Facebook, which I already did because it's coming up. It's a few days away.
Yeah.
I posted the day of, 2 days before, I did Ziffel's Zip and Go little food truck thing for their open walls, unity in the community celebration. That was really fun. I enjoyed that very much. I posted like 2 days prior what they had available to post. So I shared that as well. And then the day of, I made my own post with, my own photos and stuff like that. And then kind of what I had to contribute and share, I suppose, the day of. And that's kind of how I've been doing it. If it's a special event, I'll post it. Sometime even that, I think I posted that Saturday. Or it might have been that Friday, but I included, hey, if you don't see, it was something about like coming to the market if you don't catch me here, or it was something along those lines,
Yeah.
I was at both places basically, and it was the one day after the other, so
just post both. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Very cool. So thank you for stopping by. I got a last question that I always ask everyone. If the mayor commissioned you to atop the AEP building, the tallest building, even 10 stories, 30 stories past that.
I've been up to the top floor.
Have you?
Delivering food.
Really? So imagine you're another 500 feet up and there's a sign.
Oh, yeah.
So that the entire city can see it if you're that high.
Yeah.
And the mayor comes to you and says, I need a message for the entire city of Fort Wayne for everyone to see.
Yeah.
And you're the one that gets to decide what it says, and everyone's going to see it.
Yeah.
What does it say?
I mean, it could be, it could be a number of things. I don't know. Like Trinbago pepper sauce.
Well, that'd be pretty good marketing.
Yeah, I know. Is that what you're getting at?
It's your sign, dude.
I don't know. Live it up.
Okay, that's something too.
Yeah.
I like that.
Are you trying to make me go somewhere with this? Like, what are you?
Nope.
What are you saying?
Nope. I'm
so
just it's a
free base.
I ask everyone the same question.
I would say live it up. Follow your dreams, that kind of stuff. Dive in deep, because you never know. You won't know unless you try.
Yeah.
It's you don't have to feel like it's a 1 in a million shot kind of thing. It's really not. It just takes time and effort, patience, and some elbow grease, and more than 99% of the time you're going to come out on top, because why would you even attempt it if you're not planning on conquering it?
Right.
You know, it's just like learning a new skateboard trick. What's the point in skateboarding if you're not gonna learn a new trick?
Right.
You know.
Right. You're always you want to push yourself. You want to see.
That's all it is. It's with sports. You know, you want to get better at sports. You want to. Some people don't like doing competition. They don't like competition. That's fine. My friend Sarah is her little boy. He's 8 years old, and he figured out that he doesn't really care for competition so much. He enjoys sports, but he doesn't like it for the competition. And I found that out recently. You know, I was like, okay.
Know thyself.
So he's doing like theater stuff now, which is fine. He loves it. He was in swimming, but he didn't like it because of the competition. You know.
Yeah. Find what you enjoy, but that's why I asked the question, because a lot of stuff can stem from it. It can get your mind going, and it's a way for us to like get to know you even at the end of the show. So I always ask that to everyone.
Yeah, like just make it tangible. Something that's gonna work in society. Nothing crazy.
Right, because everyone's gonna see it. That's the thing.
You know, and you're gonna be known for that thing.
But dude, live it up. That pretty sums up everything.
Yeah, I mean enjoy every moment of it.
With the sauce, I mean,
back to the sauce, like I mean, it that goes with like, because I'm doing it right now. You know, I've explained that it is tough to grow. You know, if you don't have any money, it's hard. You know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you got to pay your bills, and that's obviously that comes first, you know. And I do plan on doing so much more with this sauce. There's like 30 other products I want to do.
Yeah.
Not including the merchandise, you know.
Right.
I want to do shout out to Findlay hats, you know. I want to do Findlay hats.
Yeah.
It's like that has that rope on the top of it that's like braided, and it's like a flat bill, looks like a surfer's hat or something, you know. And I love that hat. I don't even have one of my own. I have a version of one, and it's dirty and old.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, doing other sauces, like I do plan on doing like tomato choka. That's a great breakfast food. That's tomatoes and garlic and onion, like sauteed up in a pan, you know, just let it simmer for a while.
Wow.
You know, a little bit of salt. Throw in some pepper sauce, and you just eat that with like warmed up naan bread or rotis or flour tortillas.
Yeah,
if that's what you like. I love them all. I love that for breakfast. It's one of my favorite breakfast foods. My mom makes it, you know, at least once a month. You know, it's a nice little treat. She uses crushed tomatoes, and I think she gets like whole tomatoes in a can and then crushes those by hand, because like the crushed tomatoes in a can are different. I don't know. She said something like that to me, where like if you buy crushed tomatoes in a can, it's different than when you buy whole tomatoes in a can and then crush them by hand. So yeah. But yeah, tomato choco would be one thing, you know, I'd like to sell. That'd be great. People will love it. I know it. Everyone does anyway. It's addicting. And it's good for you. It's high in acidity. A lot of the stuff is going to be high in acidity, so if you don't like acidic foods, you know, might not be your thing. But
yeah.
Like I said, you know, a mild sauce, a super duper hot sauce, you know, because some people don't like it this mild, which is surprising, you know, because this stuff is pretty
potent. I've had it.
Yeah. But then if you think about each one of those lines, let's say this is the medium, okay, and we have a mild, the habanero, and then a super hot. So I don't know the peppers for those yet. I'll figure it out. Then we'll turn those into different sauces. So we'll have 3 different avenues of 3 different types of sauces with 3 different peppers. We'll do any fruits you can imagine as its own sauce. So like pineapple habanero sauce, or pineapple whatever this mild pepper is sauce. And then, you know, just you can mix and match fruits. You can do you can do plums, you can do peaches, you can do habanero. There's an endless amount of different ways. And then you can add the different heat levels, you know, for the different types of, you know, people who like spicy, people who like mild, people who like extremely hot, pointless heat is what I call that.
Yeah.
And then beyond that would be like jams, jellies, preserves, honeys, you know, with all these different kinds of fruity flavors and stuff. And then beyond that would be like, I don't know, like I want to move into like tequila and rum and cigars. And then I think, other than like the merchandise it'd be cool to have like golf balls or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, with your face on it.
Yeah, stickers, of course. I am doing a new sticker that's coming out soon. I have if you've been at the booth down at the market once before, you've noticed it, and I pointed it out probably to you. There's a little stained glass piece. It's the bottle. It's the 12-ounce bottle, and I am going to turn that into a sticker. I already have turned it into a sticker. I can actually show you it real quick. I like it a lot, but the first rendition of it will be a holographic sticker. So I like, everyone loves holographic stickers. I think it'll sell at least decently well. And there's no expiration date on stickers, so they can just sit there.
Right.
So
doesn't matter.
That'll be, like I said, everything costs money. Expansion costs money. So
right.
to have a shelf-stable product, that's really smart, and I got really lucky with that. So if you can aim in that direction with whatever you're doing, if there's no expiration date, then you don't really have to worry about it so much. Like the FDA said that I need to do 2 years at least on the expiration date.
Gotcha.
So obviously these are going to sell within 2 years. Especially being at a market.
No kidding.
They'll sell, within a week or whatever.
Yeah.
Or within the month at least.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Let me pull this sticker up for you real quick.
Yeah. So remember, the YLNI Farmers Market, every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can catch Trinbago pepper sauce. We are inside at 1501 East Berry. And, dude, that is really cool.
So it'll be the same size as what's on the phone.
Okay, yeah. This is super cool. Super sharp.
Yeah,
really nice.
That will be like obviously the original color of it.
Yeah.
Now when I do it in holographic, like I don't know what that's gonna look like. So we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't look like garbage.
Yeah. So
I imagine it'll be fine.
Come check out the booth here soon so that you can check out these stickers.
Yeah. These would be great for like your thermos, or something, or a laptop. Like it's a good size.
Right.
These will be $3 a piece. Just because, they do cost money to order.
Oh, of course.
Now, I do hand out these ones for free. Every time you purchase a bottle, I'll give you a couple of these.
Yeah.
You get some business cards, hand these out to your buddies.
Yep.
And then you'll get a flyer. This is like you could say this is the original flyer. Has information on the back and a cool graphic on the front. I want to do T-shirts, all sorts of things.
So basically, for all that stuff, we just are going to definitely need to stay tuned. We got to follow you on Facebook and Instagram. We will see all this
the
stuff.
more support I get from you guys, the more cool stuff I can create.
Yep.
That's what it's all about. And I love being in the beginning stages of this. Unfortunately, it's been a few years, and we haven't really seen too much growth. But hey, that's just the way the world works sometimes. The reason that is behind that, the reason why that is even like why I don't have 30 products, for me to show you on this interview is because of that. Like it's because, what I was getting at is that this is a spicy sauce. So not everyone likes it, So you got to keep that stuff in mind, when you're going after something, that's a very crucial thing. And I didn't get to pick and choose what pepper I wanted to do. It was my grandparents' recipe.
Right. You just made it.
So I expanded it. Like I took what they gave us like a little plastic jug of it, and we kept it in our cabinet for years until it was gone. And everyone loves it, so that's why I rolled with it, So like if I had probably started with like a Serrano or something, I would definitely have more sauces by now, I would imagine, because everybody likes mild. Everybody can handle mild.
Yep.
So
very cool. Well, we will check in with you through this process as you get more stuff. I'm excited to see you grow, man. Very cool. Thanks for being here again. Every Saturday from 9 to 1, we are now inside at the market on 1501 East Berry. We will see you there.
Yep. Come check us out at the market, guys. Later.
This podcast is brought to you by Coraggio Media. The show is edited by me and sponsored by the YLNI Farmers Market. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram for all the latest updates. We will see you next week, where we will be sure to show you how you can enjoy Fort Wayne.